Skill skipping is a fun mechanic in Tombs of a Mascot that leads to higher drop rates, and in this video I'm going to go over how to skill skip effortlessly and impart some of the knowledge that I've gained from over 200 runs to you. But without further ado, what exactly is skill skipping? Well, it's the process of skipping the skulls mechanic, which is done on phase 3 of the Wardens. You accomplish this by not attacking the skulls, but instead letting them explode and timing a run through so that the mechanic doesn't hit you. Normally, it will hit 125 damage. By doing this, the mechanic doesn't damage the boss, and instead you are able to damage the boss yourself, leading to more points gained. For my 395 invocation raids, that leads to an extra 480 damage that my character does over the 4 skull skips. And that phase has a 2.5 times point multiplier, which means it's a total of 1200 extra points. At 395 invocation, 1200 points is an extra 0.46% drop rate. Therefore, every 200 or so raids, I get an additional purple by doing this method. One thing I should note, while this method can be done with any invocations and any group size, I highly suggest the 2 following things. First off, it's done in a solo. Second off, it's done with Insanity turned on. If Insanity is not turned on, then the amount of time it takes for the skulls to pop is very long, which can lead to large amounts of damage taken on later skips, plus it no longer becomes time efficient. The same can be said with group Insanity runs. The game gives considerably more time to get the skulls done, so that's more time spent skipping and less time spent damaging the boss. All you need to do is stand on the marked tiles, make sure you have a magic or range weapon equipped, and then spam click a skull within range of your weapon. As soon as the skulls disappear, you will yellow click to walk there, and your character will run over the skull explosion. It's that simple. The tiles will be in the description of the video. If you want a more advanced look, I'll go over each skull skip individually now. At 80%, the first skip is very simple. Basically what I just said, you run to either side, stand on the green marked tiles, and then spam click the closest skull. And as it disappears, you'll be dragged in past the skulls. Continue fighting the boss until 60%. At 60%, the second skip occurs. At this point, Zabak will spawn and start peppering you with mage and range attacks. What you want to do is run to the green marked tiles and wait for Zabak's first auto. Most of the time, it will be magic first, but it's not 100%. Once you've turned on the correct prayer, start spamming a nearby skull. The skull skip will be done before the second auto hits you, and if you swap style, you can then quickly change your prayer to get that up in time. At 40%, the third skip occurs. At this point, Baba will spawn, and it starts to drop boulders on you, as well as Zabak autoing you. Do the same thing as previous, running to the green marked tiles, but this time you are waiting for the first Baba rock to be dropped. You can tell he's picked your tile by looking for movement on his legs or the animation underneath you. Once that happens, run 1 to 2 squares up or down along the green markers and start spamming clicking a nearby skull. Again, once it disappears, you'll run right through it. 20% is the hardest of these skull skips, and while learning, it might be wise to just kill the skulls normally on this one. As both Baba and Zabak have already spawned on the previous skips, there is no guarantee in the setups to 100% dodge their attacks, as they can be out of cycle. As before, run to the green marked tiles. You'll probably get a rock fall during that. Wait for 1 additional rock fall and dodge it the same way you did on the previous skip. For this one, make sure you are high HP entering into the skip, as you may tank a Baba auto or a rock. Generally, I like to be at 99 HP or higher. For the skulls, you are spam clicking. Make sure it's not one that's on the green line, as when it disappears, you won't run to the center, and instead you'll run up the green line and you'll fail the skip. That's really all there is to it. Get out there, practice it, and enjoy the extra purples. One thing to note is it does add time to the raid, so if you're tight on time and you might miss your time invocation, do regular skulls instead. It's not worth missing the time invocations for these points. I hope you enjoyed this type of quick video. I hope it taught you something. If you want to see more of these quick guides, leave a comment down below on what you want to see next. Otherwise, have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.